Hey, it's Steve Sear. Hey, I'm the f***ing man. Here's the deal. This city is all about juice, baby. It's that I came to this town and I had no juice. And now I am the juice.
In December 2002, Las Vegas Life magazine named Steve Sear their first and only casino host of the year. Sear is the most celebrated casino host in Las Vegas history. He's appeared in local and national periodicals, as well as on numerous networks and cable television.
My next guest is one of the most sought-after casino hosts in Vegas and is featured in a book that's called Whale Hunt in the Desert. Please welcome Mr. Steve Sear to the show. And Steve, let me say this. You're the guy that, watch this, he's the guy that DeMonto Williams is looking for. I go out to his chair, I'm calling and saying, can you give me the best host? Because I know what's going to happen. He's going to take me to some tables. He knows a couple people, shows me around, I get there.
Front row to fight.
Line of credit.
Boxing fan.
Tickets to fights, boom, I'm in the fight, front row, because he knows when I walk out, he's going, well, come on, let's go, buddy. I know you like crabs, so I thought I'll walk over. All I do is sign a little piece of paper. He puts $10,000 in my hand.
I'd give you 100 right now.
Huh?
Yeah. I'd give you 100 right now.
100 right there. Woo! Ah, yeah! Well, Steve, let's talk about it so people understand what it is you actually do. Again, as a casino host, talk about what your job is.
My clients are casinos. My customers are gamblers. I'm a independent contractor at my level. There's over 500 casino hosts in town in Las Vegas, and there's about 30 that do what I do. And I'm like a Jerry Maguire. I'm a broker between the player and the casino. My job is to get them in, establish their credit. I negotiate betting limits, discounts if they lose. I negotiate based on time, how much I can give them in complimentaries. If a fight's coming up, I decide if I'm going to send a Gulfstream to pick them up. Maybe I'm going to take the wife on a shopping spree.
Sear also is the focus of the controversial best-selling book, Whale Hunt in the Desert, as seen through the eyes of the only casino superhost ever to tell all. The book shows Sear in the thick of the hosting business, fighting for his players, and on his way to becoming Las Vegas' #1 host.
This is an exciting time for me because 4.5 years ago when I met these guys from Huntington Press, I didn't think we'd ever really, finish the book. I have a stable of about 70 customers that I call high rollers, which means on a given weekend they'll risk a minimum of $100,000. And then I have probably 20 whales that'll be the $500,000 to the $3 million. My biggest customer will bet $35,000 to $40,000 every roll of the dice. Feel like deja vu? I put in their room reservation. I usually will book the private plane for him, meet him when the plane lands, personally take him into the Hard Rock. At that level, he doesn't have to check in or put up a credit card. I've already got his room keys. I've already got the Cristal in the suite if he wants fresh fruit, if he likes Cohiba cigars, if he wants, Evian water, Diet Pepsi, pretzels.
He lives in a world that most of us just see on TV, maybe in movies, maybe we read about in books. But to actually see the guy doing it, you have to kick yourself a lot and say, is this actually happening? He's dealing with huge sums of money, incredibly powerful people. He's dealing with glitz, he's dealing with showbiz, shopping, trips, quick day trips, pretty much everything and anything. His life is almost like a lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Tonight, Steve is courting several whales at 2 separate casinos. In less than 30 minutes, he's expected back at Palace Station Casino, where he's hosting an expensive dinner for one of his favorite whales.
I'll take a push. They just had a $30,000 dinner, so I'm happy. We gave them dinner and made 30 grand. 1 cold call, 1 booking, 2 new players, maybe a new whale. You know how hard it is? A guy will work his whole career and not get a guy that'll lose $500,000 to $600,000.
Getting people to gamble at the Hard Rock Casino. That's Steve's job. Long days are spent on the phone getting his clients to show up for the next big event. This weekend, it's a blowout called the Jimmy Jam.
And we're giving everybody pajamas and the girls lingerie. Gamblers just look for an excuse to come in. Mr. B, Steve Sear. Charles Steve Sear. 2 words, pink taco, 6 o'clock. Can you make it? Larry, Liz, hey, Steve Sear, how are you guys? Hey, tomorrow night, Saturday at the Hard Rock, I've got a big pajama party. I'm just looking at, you know, a big pair of purple silk pajamas with your name on it, thinking, I wish Jim was here. Better than Playboy's Midsummer Night's Dream Party. Listen, do you want me to send a car for you? Larry can even play blackjack out by the pool. If I had a plane coming up tomorrow, you want to hop on it, incognito? Where are you? I will come pick your ass up. I'm your hero. Then come to Vegas, Jim.
At the Hard Rock, there's always something special for the high roller. Steve Sear knows how to get him here in droves, never once forgetting that his job is to make money for this casino.
We owe you 19 bucks. Sorry that you're down a few grand. Yeah. You just lost 2,000. We owe you $19. Okay, Thank you for coming into the Hard Rock. Yeah. To the travel channel.
Steve is a classic Vegas story. You're talking about a guy who understands people, relates well to people, and that's really what it takes in the casino industry.
It's not Cuban, that's not any good.
Hey, these are great cigars.
He's from Kansas originally, in a rural Kansas town. Steve's got a good work ethic, and Steve has done very well. He's got a little bit of Woody Harrelson in him because there's a little bit of innocence, but there's a lot of Vegas edge to him, too. One of Steve's favorite sayings is that when I came to Vegas, I had no juice, and now I am the juice.
Steve calls a meeting of a cooperative group of executive hosts so they can compare notes and share leads. The list Steve hands out is his most valuable asset.
Look at this. Last name, first name, address, city, state, zip, phone, social, so you can run Essential, company name, date of birth, credit line, bank, and account number. You can make a career off this first page. Number 9.
This list contains a wealth of information on Steve's players, including their financial potential.
Hey, it's Steve Sear.
Steve Sear.
Hey, I'm the f***ing man. Here's the deal. Ramey will come in tomorrow, bring cash.
What, do we need a suite?
Yeah, he's bringing 3 girls, 2-bedroom suite, 4 tickets to the fight.
Ramey El Betraoui, a businessman from Los Angeles, is flying in on a private plane to catch a fight and play some high-stakes blackjack. On his last visit to the Hard Rock, Ramey lost $1 million. He's hoping to have better luck this time.
What is a gambler? A guy with an ego, right? He's a guy that wants to win. He's a guy that, you know, will lose 100 grand so he can sit ringside at a fight, which you can probably get a better seat at home on pay-per-view for $49.95. You know, so a limo picks him up. Big deal. He's a guy that doesn't want to wait in line, that wants to walk in front of all the other people. The gambler is the king in Vegas, not the star. Okay, the star's not in there because he's not a risk taker. Gamblers are entrepreneurs, risk takers. They own restaurants, they own bars. You know, people that have cash coming in.
The next day, he gets a call from $1 million player who is coming in that evening. It's a huge break for Steve.
He's been in, I think, 2 or 3 times. We haven't really caught him yet. He's given us a little time, played like an hour, won $70,000, $80,000, walked out the door. This will be the first time that we've really got him to commit to giving us some time. We're picking him up in a private jet. We got him 4 ringside tickets that cost us like $6,000 to the fight. So we've already outlaid $10,000 to $15,000 cash. But my job is make sure he gets in, make sure the credit line's ready, make sure Baccarat knows, because he'll be the biggest player in the joint tonight, no doubt about it. Case is full of cash. Get the case. Did you get the case?
Serious players like Chris Williams are assigned what is called a comp word, which is determined by their betting average. The more they bet, the higher their rating, the more freebies they get.
Just give me some time. Right now it's 100 to 3. I got to set you for 50 and let you go 100 to 5 or 500 to 10.
I feel fine. I'm only down 2,000, and we're going to go to dinner, and then I'm going to come back and kill him.
Vegas is built on the backs of winners and losers.
Vegas is not the Sin City anymore. It's the Fun City.
In this city, one kind of gambler is valued above all. Not the richest, but the gutsiest. High stakes are king, and it's this man's job to find heirs to the throne. Steve Sear combs through the credit histories of daring gamblers nationwide, trying to find his next great player.
I have a little cocktail party with Fred Treadway.
Fred Treadway owns an Indianapolis race car team, but after getting the call from Steve, he's making a high-rolling pit stop at the Hard Rock for tonight's Jimmy Jam.
He said it's going to be a pajama party, and with Steve, we know it's going to be fun. He told us about it at the Indy 500, but we forgot about it, so he reminded us. We just came out.
If I bet $10,000 tonight and I was betting $1,000 a hand and went through 50,000, people around me would think that it's crazy, but yet the two cars that we ran to track here, the engine rebuilds are $30,000 a piece, so I might have spent in total $100,000 to come and practice with two cars. Now, if that same $100,000 I'd put on the table, I'd really look like, a high roller. I guess everything's relative.
At the moment, Chris is on a toured winning streak, so Fred sits with him, hoping some of the luck will rub off onto him.
Yeah, baby.
Let's give him this. No, you can't do mine first. How much do you want to win in the end? That and a 7. Make safe! Oh!
With a flip of a card, Chris is up another $8,500.
I usually have rules when I go into a casino and never lose more than a certain amount. So in this trip, I don't want to lose more than 200,000, or I sometimes go and say, okay, if I need to win $1 million, I'll risk $1 million to win that. What's great about Steve, he doesn't put any pressure, but he makes you want to do the things he wants you to do, and makes you want to gamble. So he invited us to Vegas and showed us the villas and how we could really be treated, and says, you can have this, but you have to be a player.
The minute you walk in, he's got all the little things to make you feel good about yourself. He knows how to make a guy who's going to blow 50, 100,000. He might give you $2,000, $3,000 worth of stuff, and you're like, I'm somebody. He makes you feel good about yourself.
Steve Sear brings me here tonight. Steve Sear always brings me here. He's my nemesis. Actually, nemesis isn't a good word. Bad influence would be a better word.
I like Steve. I think Steve did an excellent job. Steve does a good job of blending in, and I didn't feel that much pressure with Steve.
My goal is that a guy loses 100,000, shakes my hand, and says, Steve, I had a great time. See you next month. It's the cost of entertainment.
Tonight is an exciting part of my job. For one, I get to come up to the really private foundation room. Everything in here is authentic. They spent millions of dollars from the rugs to the ceilings.
What Steve does is he rarely says no. I've always tried to be imaginative in my request, and he's always said, yes. Very rarely has he said no to me. And so, that makes life a little nicer. Whatever concert comes to town, you don't have to worry about that. In any kind of event, the rooms are great. You can, all your friends are always, wanting to go to dinner here and dinner there, and those are little perks that you can give all your friends and stuff like that.
To the Hard Rock, baby! The Hard Rock!